Okay, I'd like to call to order the regular scheduled meeting of the Elk Grove Park District for May 25th, 2023. Can we have a roll call, please?
President Cook,
Here?
Commissioner Yecki,
Here.
Commissioner Carlson,
Here.
Commissioner Walls,
Here.
Commissioner O'Malley.
I'm here, Brad.
Okay, next is approval of the minutes for the May 11th, 2023 regular meeting. All in favor of approving those minutes, say aye. Aye. So it's 5-0 on that. Next is 2023 Park Board Commissioner election results and oath of office. Who does that, Scott?
Yeah, let me get to the,
Yes.
can I read it now?
Yes, you can.
The Cook County Clerk, having completed a canvass of all votes cast for Commissioner, Elk Grove Park District, 6-year term, hereby certifies the following vote totals. Thomas E. Cook, 100% counted, 2,952 votes.
You're 6-0.
Okay. 6-0.
You have to bring that up.
6-1 still
Don't
pretty
jinx
good.
it, don't jinx it. Yeah, it was 6-1.
I didn't know.
7-1.
I'm sorry.
7-1, yeah. It's okay, I learned a lot.
That's still
from
like
that. Learned a lot from that, yeah.
824 winning percentage or something.
Well, you had my vote, but go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
You
yeah,
swear me
now,
in, so it's official?
am I gonna read this whole thing and then you're gonna repeat it, or?
You gotta
Yes,
stand up
sir.
too.
I, Thomas E. Cook,
I, Thomas E. Cook,
do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear and affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Park District Commissioner according to the best of my ability.
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of District Commissioner according to the best of my ability.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. And although I did want uncontested, I do want to thank the 2,952 people that did put a check mark in the box for me. It does, you don't have to mark it, so I do appreciate that, that I was, that you did show me, at least that you think I should be on for another term. So, thank you very much. I look forward to serving another 6 years on the board, and I'm excited about all the things that we've accomplished in the past, but even more excited about the things that we have planned for the future. And I look forward to being a part of that and serving within the community. So, thank you very much, and that's all I have to say on that. Public communication, comments from the audience.
Good evening, Mr. President. I do not have any comments for you this evening.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Correspondence, do any of the commissioners have any correspondence?
Ben shared an email with me, or actually a phone message from a homeowner that I did call back. She asked for me specifically. I did not know her. She's got a nuisance tree that is in Park District property that she would like us to do something with, and I said that I would address that with both the executive director and the director of Parks and Planning, and we'll take a look at the situation and do what is right for everybody. So if you guys would like to see the email or whatever Ben sent me, I can. Other than that, the house backs up to Colony Park. She lives on New York. Yep. So that's the only correspondence I had, President Cook.
Okay, thank you. Any other commissioners have any correspondence? Okay, introduction of special guest, our 2022 audit review. We We have Don Shaw from Lauterbach and Amen. Welcome, and hopefully you got good news for us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you for having me. I first would like to thank Brad and the entire team for all their help in making this a successful audit year. Without their help, this wouldn't be possible, so thank you. Next, I'm going to go through the annual financial report with you, which is the thicker of the packets you received. And if you turn to page 7, you'll find the Certificate of Achievement Award. This award was provided for the 2021 audit year. We have applied for and expect to receive the same award for 2022, so congratulations on receiving that award. If you turn about 3 more pages, you'll see our Lauterbach and Amen letterhead. This is our independent audit report in which we provide a clean, unmodified opinion. That's the highest opinion you can receive. Basically states that we found no issues with internal controls or the numbers as they're presented that would otherwise alter our opinion. The management discussion and analysis will begin on page 14. And this section really provides a summary of how the year performed in narrative form. So if you have questions on fluctuations from year to year or what the numbers truly mean, this is where you'd want to go to find those answers. The individual fund financial statements will begin on pages 29 and 30. And on the far right column at the bottom of page 30, you'll notice that the total ending fund balance for the district as a whole was at $18 million. 27% or $4.8 million is related to your general fund, which is your main operating fund. To see how this fund performed in the current year, we can skip ahead to what would be your income statement, which is on page 33. About 3/4 of the way down the page, you'll notice that the general fund had a operating increase of $1.9 million. This was offset by a transfer out to your capital projects fund of $1.5 million. So your general fund was left with a net increase of $419,000. So a good year for the Park District. The notes of financial statement will begin on page 36. And the notes really provide further detail into how we came up with the figures that we did with supporting schedules. Within there, you're going to find your capital asset and long-term debt schedules. I'm not going to go through the notes with you tonight, so I'll have you skip all the way to page 71. Page 71 is the start of your budgetary information. So if you want to see how a specific fund performed based on what was budgeted, this is where you'd want to go to find those comparisons. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions?
All right. If not, obviously Brad knows how to get a hold of me, so if you have any questions moving forward, you can contact us.
I did have one question. I thought maybe somebody else would have it. If for some reason the park board wanted to prepay IMRF, like maybe overabundance to take away the financial strain on future boards where money might be tighter and we feel that we're comfortable like overpaying it to 110% or 120%, where would that, how would you account for that in an audit, and is that actually legal?
I mean, you can do accelerated payments to your IMRF fund. So if you look, that's obviously a management decision for that. So if you go to page 69, I believe it was. Yeah, if you go to page 68 and 69, there's a schedule that shows each of the years of the IMRF. And towards the bottom, you'll see that the percent coverage of payroll this year was at 94%. So you guys are really well funded right now. So that's obviously an option that you can investigate. But obviously that would be a management decision on that aspect. But you can do accelerated payments.
So I got not that I'm disagreeing with you, I'm just saying, you're in this business, and I believe we're not your only park district municipality that you do. Where do we generally rank at our 94%?
That's about where most people are, that you want to see it in that 90% range. That's, so you're at 95%, so that's well-funded.
So without obviously naming any names, I'm gonna guess that your districts are in middle or upper middle municipalities.
So we have a wide range, yes, yeah.
Okay. Because the argument always is like, well, hold on a second. If we're gonna either be at 95 or even prepay to get more, if anything hits the fan, we're gonna end up paying for some district that may be at 40%. Does that make sense? Am I wrong, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an actuary, so I'm not entirely sure how.
I'm not, yeah, I understand.
It's ours, but it's ours.
No, it's ours. They
It's
set
ours,
the
Yeah,
it's
rates.
it's-
nobody else's, John, it stays
Oh,
for
okay.
us.
Yeah,
So IMRF is a pooled pension fund that
It's
they
a-
pool our resources with other park
Well, the
districts.
pool to
and
me
other-
says
not-
we're sharing.
Not
No, for
necessarily.
investment.
Okay.
For investment purposes.
Not
Ah,
for
gotcha.
liability.
Okay.
Ours
Yeah.
is sectioned off.
Okay.
So if another district went bankrupt, we wouldn't be liable for that.
We would
That
still
I-
be at 95%. What
I'm
I'm
good.
trying to do is just, you know, if we're budgeting correctly, or if we ever wanted, like I said, to take the financial strain off a future
Yeah.
board.
I get you.
Okay.
But I'm just thinking, well, why do we always have to be the A+ if something were to go wrong? But now I understand that's
Well,
not the
how
case.
did we get 116%?
The market, it's
Investment
going to fluctuate
returns.
because of the
yeah.
market.
You'll
The market
notice that
went
it
up,
was,
and then
it was
it
a
went
net
back.
pension asset the previous 2 years. Because of the market values, the net investment income is gonna fluctuate. That was the biggest change from last year to this year.
So our employer rate that we just got it for, it'll end up being 2024. It did go down significantly. Now that's obviously off of the 2021 financials and they blend it in. But with the shift in employees, we've just hit the mark. We have more tier 2 employees versus tier 1. So that is supposed to start driving down our rate as well. Obviously, nothing's gonna beat the investment returns as far as fluctuations, but making those accelerated payments definitely helps keep our rate down to help blend that in.
That was my only question, President Cook.
Okay, any other questions? Okay,
Okay, well,
Thank
thank
you
you
very
for your
much for
time and enjoy
updating
the
us.
rest of your evening.
Thanks, Tom.
Brad, this was year 2 of the 3-year contract?
Yes, I believe so.
okay, recommendations for approval. Need a motion to approval of the 2022 Annual Comprehensive Financial Report.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Biecky.
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson.
Yes.
Commissioner Walls.
Yes?
Commissioner O'Malley.
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes. Next, item B, acceptance of the bid in the amount of $105,000 from Chicagoland Paving. And this is for the Pavilion Tennis Courts to be resurfaced.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions about that?
How often is it done? Would it make sense to say 8 to 10 years or sooner?
I think it's between 5 and 8 years. This is a full, like, 2-inch grind, and we wouldn't do that every 5 years or so. This would be more, probably, like you said, 10 years.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Can you roll call, please?
Commissioner Carlson.
Yes.
Commissioner Walls.
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley.
Yes.
Commissioner Biecky.
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes. Item C, acceptance of the bid in the amount of $55,560 from Doyle Sign Incorporated of Addison, Illinois, for the Mather Park sign project.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or discussions?
Just to confirm, it's gonna be the digital?
Yes.
Okay. Similar to what we currently have at our properties?
So, can you tell me the difference between the Watchfire digital display versus Samsung? Is there any difference between, is just a brand name difference, or? anything with the pixels or anything like that for LCD or?
No, I
Any
don't think so. The
different between-
Samsung, I just believe, was much more expensive. I don't think they had as good of a, feedback as the Watchfire.
And has Watchfire done any of our other digital signs?
The Watchfire does the, did the ones for the village, the one on, Feasterfield by Link School and also by the Pavilion. Those are Watchfire. So we submit, digitals for those signs, so it'll be very similar. So we already have that software, so it'll be easier for us to, and we had, you know, we honestly, we've been having some issues with Cirrus, the ones that we have right now, so I think there's been a lot of good, I haven't seen a lot of downtime with the Watchfires that have been, and those have been up for, gosh, well over probably 6 years.
Okay.
The Watchfire ones, so they have good, a good history
Okay.
of functionality.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Walls,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson.
Yes.
And President Cook.
Yes. Okay, committee reports, capital projects, Commissioner O'Malley.
No capital projects committee. I would have had one had I known I was being booted off the committee. That's all.
Foreshadowing?
Carly says,
It
okay.
was unanimous.
Finance, we can't all use that as an excuse, right? Finance committee, Commissioner Walls.
Okay, funds, corporate fund, 1.32, call it, in property tax was collected in April. 199,000, call 200 in personal property replacement tax collected. So we've been kind of chasing that, how many months in a row, right?
The property tax
Yeah.
collections, we should be caught up. We're caught
So
up.
now we're finally,
The financials should not be affected.
As
by that
today.
delay.
Okay.
Correct.
All expense categories are under budget except for unemployment insurance because of timing of the payment. Year-to-date, 2.495 million compared to a budget of 2.09, which that equates to about $460,000 in the plus. Recreation fund is $627,000 in property tax collected for the rec fund. Fees and admissions collected were $393,000 compared to a budget of $353,000. That's a plus side of $40,000. Program fees were $650,000 compared to a budget of $706,000, so that's a minus, call it 40 plus. All expense categories are at or under budget except for program contractual. Year-to-date, $746,000 compared to a budget of $242,000. So you're gonna have to explain that.
So we have,
That's a plus of $500,000?
yes, some of it is an increase in fees, some of it is some openings in the rec department. The majority of it is we budgeted some capital improvements out of the rec fund this year, and those have not been.
They haven't hit.
either- Correct. I think that was 185,000 roughly off the top of my head.
But I wanna be clear, your first thing was, some of that is wages?
We do have some opening positions right now, or
Okay.
have had some through the beginning of the year. The majority of it is fees and
Okay,
like rentals is doing better.
I don't want
than it's
anybody
done
to
in the
think that we have
past.
$500,000 in openings. Right?
As far as, no,
No, okay, alright. I do. Golf fund is, this is April only, it's 3,296 rounds played in April. Fees and admissions was, call it 200,000 compared to a budget of 157,000, which is pretty legit for April, right? That's year to date. And then all expense categories are under budget year to date. So currently, we're losing 52,000 compared to a budget loss of 204,000. And just what do you equate that to? Is it food and beverage? Is it the bar? Is
food
it?
and beverage is up slightly, most of it's rounds. Last April was bad, most of it's rounds, and then the driving range had a great April too. I mean, usually the driving range can be pretty hit and miss, so.
And that's my report.
Brag about them all the time.
Okay, any questions for Commissioner Walls?
President Walls.
Committee of the Whole. We met today at 5:30 PM. Discussed community-wide survey questionnaire that we're going to be completing this spring or summer. We'll go out to the number of residents. How many will be surveyed, Kelly, on that? Is it like 400 that we send out?
No, we're expecting to get 400 back.
400 back, okay.
So I think it's, I don't know that it's gonna be the entire, I can't remember, Ben, what the exact number is on that, Tom.
Okay. So
I would assume
it-
well over 1,000, because they're usually the success
Oh.
rate to get 400 back, you gotta send out probably at least 1,500, they still consider
Oh,
it a
it'll-
success to get 400.
I think it was absolutely over 2,000, for
Okay.
sure.
And the last one we did was
2016.
2016. So if you get one in the mail, my point is, that this is the time to let your voice be heard. Please take the time to complete the survey, send it back to us so we can get your input. And it really helps us with our master planning for the future to make sure we're bringing the right stuff that the community wants to have in the village. So expect that to be coming out sometime this summer. We also discussed our policy for property naming rights policy. We had a long discussion on the fitness center. We had some feedback from some of the patrons at the fitness center who were unhappy with some of the equipment replacements that we did, and are missing kind of some of the machines that were popular over there. So staff and the board is taking a look at those, and we made some recommendations to maybe bring back, I think, 5 of those items if we can find proper spacing for them. And staff will be following up on that and getting back to, with some signage at the fitness center with regards to what's being done. We're also,
President Cook, can I just change one word? that you
sure,
said?
absolutely,
You said the board recommended, when they didn't recommended, they directed.
correct.
Okay.
Staff's recommendation, we directed them to,
Yeah, you
Did
said
the
the
approval.
board recommended
Okay.
to do that, and when it's actually we
Correct.
directed them.
So where else did we talk about? As well at the fitness center, making sure that communication not only in the future is better when we're replacing items there, but that with some of the renovations that are currently planned back in the office area that we're doing, we're gonna have signage up there showing you what's being planned there, massage chairs, it's a rejuvenation area, and there's gonna be some additional equipment there as well that's coming in later in the summer. So there will be some signage updating the members on that. If you have feedback, feel free to let staff know there if you have any feedback on those ideas, or the board. We also talked about future board positions. Every 2 years, we look at rotating board positions, so everybody gets a chance to sit in a variety of seats. So we'll be voting on those tonight. And I think that's all there was. Anything else I'm missing? Okay,
Okay,
That
that's
is-
for me.
ends my report. Golf Course Committee, Commissioner Carlson. Athletic Committee, Commissioner Biecki, sorry.
House softball and house baseball games are in full swing for both sports, and the coaches are in the process of selecting their all-stars and home run derby players for the June 16th home run derby and the June 17th all-star games. Fall softball and fall baseball registration is now open through the end of July. Travel baseball games are ongoing, and teams participated in local and out-of-town tournaments in the months of May. Teams are about halfway through their MSBL season and will have an end-of-the-season MSBL tournaments in late June and early July. Football and chair, football 7-on-7 spring league concluded on Saturday, May 7th.
Sunday,
It says Saturday.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Says Sunday. The league was very successful with 98 participants in grades 3 through 8. Registration for flag and tackle football, along with competition and flag chair, is currently open for the fall of 2023 season. Soccer, travel soccer tryouts for the fall of 23, spring of 24 season were May 9th and 10th at community athletic fields. Approximately 300 players participated in tryouts ranging from ages U7 to U15. Team offers have been made and parents are in the process of paying their deposits. Recreational house soccer going well and is scheduled to end on Saturday, June 10th. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
You should be on Sports Center.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Commissioner Biecki? Okay, Golf Committee.
Okay, the course is in really good shape. If you haven't been out there, you should get out. It's a lot of fun. Few upcoming events on June 3rd, another summer music series and a band called Kerosene from 7 to 10. There's no cover charge, so it's a lot of fun usually. And then on June 17th, another summer music series and No Limit Band, and again, 7 to 10. And then in July, on July 8th, will be Dueling Pianos, and then July 22nd, Nicole Devine. Both of those 7 to 10.
Nicole Devine is this Saturday
Yeah, I
as
was gonna
well.
say she's playing this
Forgot to put her
Saturday.
on there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Apologize.
but 22nd,
The
right?
27th and, so she's this
She's
Saturday.
playing this
27th.
Saturday.
Correct.
Oh,
And-
okay.
And in July again, yes,
Okay,
correct.
I'm doing pianos.
stand corrected. That's the end of my report.
Okay, Youth Committee. Ms. Carlson?
We got 17 applicants for the scholarships. We're going through them now. It's a very difficult process. Actually, it's a blind, the names are redacted and you just get basically the story. And then we have a meeting on June 3rd when they'll be finalized, and then we'll let everyone know not long after that.
Okay.
I would recommend that we put that on the second June meeting to do the presentation
Yeah.
of scholarships.
Sounds good. Any questions for Commissioner Carlson? Okay, next is Adult Center Committee. I have no report. Old business, any old business? New business, adoption of Resolution 2301, a resolution forming a committee on local government efficiency.
So moved.
Second?
Okay, and any questions? Ben, you want to talk about this a little bit?
Sorry, I was thinking about something else. Yeah, so this resolution is for a new committee that called the Local Government Efficiency Committee. It's an act that was passed in the downstate legislature. It is, I'm calling it a great opportunity for the Park District to show not only our residents, but also our governing officials, our legislators, our anyone who wants to read this report, how effective we are in using the taxpayer dollars and what we use it for, and that the Park District is a very well-run organization, and it's much needed, and I think this is going to come out in this report, so I'm looking at this as a great opportunity to put that on the showcase.
Okay, any commissioners have any questions?
This would be kind of for Attorney Hoffman. I'm just asking. It says that I'm on this committee, you know, because the Board of Commissioners here forms its committee and it has the individuals. Does that force me to be on because I'm an elected official? And what if I didn't want to be on it? Does that mean I don't have to be on it?
It's an interesting question. I would say that the statute, I need to take a look at the particular language in the statute. I'm aware that it calls for the elected officials to be members of the committee.
Okay.
What language exactly they use in the statute, I'd have to take a closer look at that to tell you, but it seems to me you've always got the right not to serve.
That's what I was thinking as a volunteer, that they can't force me to be
You
on
always have the
something.
right not to.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Walls,
Yes?
President Cook.
Yes. Okay, payment of the bills. I need a motion for,
New business, I want to say something, sorry. For new business,
you would like to say
I'd
something?
like to say something.
Okay, new business.
New business. For new business, I just would like to thank our teachers at the preschool center. this celebrated Teacher Appreciation Week. They do an amazing job over at our preschool center, so I just would like to acknowledge them for all their dedication and hard work to our students. And with May, it's graduation time, so I'd like to congratulate our preschoolers on their hard work and wish them best as they go on to kindergarten. So thank you all to our families who participate in the preschool center over there at the Edendorf. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Any other new business?
Commissioner Cook brought up something that I'd like to thank our Elk Grove Police for their response. I think it was, 2 weeks ago on a Wednesday night. Open Gym had a situation, and they responded in full force. I don't know the exact number, but there was at least 10 squad cars that showed up to the pavilion with an incident that kind of could have gotten out of hand. Luckily, it didn't. So I just want to thank the Elk Grove Police for their timely and force showing up to the pavilion. Thank you.
Yeah, it's reassuring, and I know they're right next door, but it's still reassuring to have that quick response and that kind of professionalism by the police department. So thank you very much, and good job done, and we appreciate it. Payment of the bills now. Okay, need a motion for payment of the bills, May 8th, 2023, in the amount of $107,185.20. For May 12th, 2023, in the amount of $193,404.09. And for May 19th, 2023, in the amount of $413,370.71.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any questions? Discussion? Roll call, please.
Commissioner Biecky,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Walls,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes. Okay, item 12, I'd like to motion, at this time, I would like to have a motion and a second to adjourn, Sia Dia.
So moved.
So moved.
Which one?
Second.
So moved and seconded, it's been voted and moved and seconded that we adjourn Sia Dia. May I have a voice vote, please?
Aye.
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 Aye. 5-0 vote. May I have a motion and a second to convene the annual meeting of the Park Board of Commissioners of the Elk Grove Park District?
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we convene the annual meeting of the Board of Commissioners of the Elk Grove Park District. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Walls,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecky,
Yes.
President Cook.
Yes. At this time, I would like to, motion and second to appoint the Executive Director, Ben Curcio, as a temporary chair of the Park Board.
So moved.
Second.
Okay? It's been moved and seconded that we appoint Ben Curcio as a temporary chair. May I have a voice vote, please?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 5-0. There's the gavel, sir.
Hey, Benny.
Take my time.
Yeah, give yourself a raise.
At this time, I would like to ask for a motion and a second to appoint Brad Scholes as temporary secretary of the Park District Board.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that we appoint Brad Scholes as temporary secretary. May I have a voice vote?
Aye.
Aye.
I would like to open the floor for nomination for president of the Park District Board.
I nominate John Wolf.
And a
Second.
second? Scott? Are there any other nominations? Okay. There being no other nomination, I'd like a roll call vote.
Commissioner Walls,
Abstain.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecky,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook.
Yes.
The new president will now assume chairing the meeting.
Oh, we're switching chairs?
Congratulations, sir.
Appreciate it.
When you start.
Okay. All right. Nominations are now open for the position of vice president of the Park District Board.
I nominate Bob Biedke.
Any
Second.
second? And then any other nominations? Hearing none, it has been moved and seconded that we appoint Bob Biecki as vice president. May I have a roll call vote?
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
President Walls.
Yes. Nominations are now open for the position of secretary of the Park District Board.
I nominate Scott Carlson for secretary.
Need a second?
Second.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, it has been moved and seconded that we appoint Scott Carlson as secretary. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
and President Walls.
Yes. Nominations are now open for the position of treasurer of the Park District Board. Nobody?
I'm trying to remember who we nominated.
It's Tom.
Tom Cook.
Second? Okay. Any other nominations? Hearing none, it has been moved and seconded that we appoint Tom Cook as treasurer. May I have a roll call vote?
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
President Walls.
Do we have something to come out of this, or do we just?
Yeah, go back to your,
You got-
Yes,
You have to vote.
yes, sorry.
We're gonna.
Yeah, I think we gotta make a motion and a second.
To come
adjourn.
out of-
Correct. I forgot
So
that on there.
somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make so move.
Second.
motion to adjourn this and,
Seen a deal.
All right, could I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Cook,
Yeah.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
and President Walls.
Yes.
Congratulations on your titles, you guys. I'll just sit over here if you need me for anything.
I appreciate being put into president. This will be the second time in quite a few years. If anybody thinks this board is rubber stamped, it's not. We had a nice discussion of who was to be what, and it's not everything is set in stone with this board, and that's kind of what I appreciate about it. So, at that point, I will need a motion and a second to adjourn.
Are you gonna name the committees tonight or save it then for 2 weeks?
I'll wait it. We can save for 2 weeks because I just gave them the sheet and we're adding that one. So,
Fair enough.
motion and a second to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner O'Malley,
Yes.
Commissioner Biecki,
Yes.
Commissioner Carlson,
Yes.
Commissioner Cook,
Yes.
President Walls.
Our next meeting will be June 8th, 2023.